If you are not yet a member of the Patreon, link is in the description. Please consider becoming a member, as you will have access to many videos you cannot find here on YouTube. I believe that it's safe to say that in my last video, we did a great job, or well enough job, establishing that Kodak Black is not only one of the most successful artists, hip-hop artists in particular, of the last decade, but he is also one of the most openly demonic. Everything from his music videos to his lyrics, him admitting that he participates in ritualistic behaviors and dark magic. But that is not the only thing about Kodak Black that we need to talk about, because at the end of my last video, I alluded to one of the most, what I'm going to call one of the most gruesome deaths in hip-hop history. Now, WizDaWizard, who was signed to Kodak Black, was not a mainstream artist, so to speak, but I'm still going to fit him into the category of the big artist because he was signed directly to Kodak, who is one of the biggest hip-hop artists of all time. And if the details are true about the way that this man lost his life, there's very few deaths that I've ever heard of in hip-hop that has happened the way that this has happened. Hit the like button on your way in. I would really appreciate it. Also hit the hype button. That's a new feature that YouTube is utilizing right now. It's the hype button. You can find it in the comment section. It will help promote this video to other people like yourself. I would really appreciate it. Now, one last thing, for those of you out there who may already be familiar with this story and you're just ready to say, hey, Kodak had nothing to do with this. WizDaWizard was in the streets. A guy's already been arrested for his murder. I'm aware of all of that. But all I would say is you might want to stick around to the end of this video, because I may give you cause to pause, right? I may give you reason to believe that things aren't always as they seem. So just stick around and decide for yourself. So yeah, man, let's hop right into it. On September 17th, 2021, in a neighboring Broward County, police received a call at 7:45 a.m. on that Friday morning. A neighbor was out walking their dog and had discovered a body laying in the driveway of a vacant home. And it was one of the most gruesome scenes that they had ever seen before. Responding officers confirmed the man was deceased and noted that he appeared to have been beaten to a point where he was almost unrecognizable. Soon after family members arrived at the scene, some attempted to push past police, desperately asking whether the body covered under the yellow tarp belonged to their loved one. And it wasn't long before social media confirmed his identity. 23-year-old Wisdom Williams, better known to the public as Broward County rapper WizDaWizard. For those of you who don't know, Wiz was a Florida native, born in Hollywood, Florida, and had not only been signed under Kodak's black record label, Sniper Gang, but they were also close friends, almost like brothers. That is until Kodak had a falling out with a guy by the name of Wham, who is Wiz's blood cousin. And Wiz allegedly sided with this cousin, which then led to Kodak distancing himself from the both of them. And things would even take a much worse turn in their relationship when Wiz realized that the deal that he had with Kodak was not only a bad deal, but that many other people was willing to offer him better contracts. He would continuously ask and attempt to be released from the deal, and when Kodak wouldn't respond or comply, Wiz then took it to the internet, publicly stating that he wanted to buy out of the deal. This would prompt a back and forth between Wiz and Kodak, and Wiz would suggest that Kodak would not only not allow him to buy his way out of the deal, but that he was also being blackballed and removed from tours.
Man, if you know me, man. You know I don't give a fuck about this internet shit, all this clout shit. I don't care for that. You feel what I'm saying? I ain't even say nothing crazy to you, bro. Shit. I ain't saying you green. I ain't saying you pussy. I ain't none of that. You my dog. I love you, bitch. I just want to buy the contract. You avoiding everything else but that contract. You talking about everything but that contract, bro. We not beefing, brother. The world know that, bro. You my brother, bro. It ain't that deep. We can link up and fight if that was the case. It ain't that deep. We ain't got no problem with each other, bro. You tripping, bro. I just want to get out my contract. What we doing? You don't fuck with a nigga, you ain't cool with a nigga. We ain't talking, it ain't nothing, you know what I'm saying? Most deaf, bitch, let me buy the contract. So what we doing? All that shit irrelevant. Most deaf, my nigga.
Oh, he will holler at me direct, but I got him blocked. I got him blocked on Instagram. Fuck nigga, you gotta see my page. I don't want you popping up on my. You got my number though. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy as fuck. Niggas stay be trying to, oh yeah, but he got me blocked. I block you niggas, homie. At the same time, y'all got my numbers. I be trying to holler at these niggas on FaceTime. What these niggas be doing? Oh, no, I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk. Or bang, hang up, or don't answer. Like, I like FaceTime. I like to talk, homie. We could talk on FaceTime, homie. You niggas like to text, voice message, DM, make little posters and for paper trail, homie, for fans and can see it, homie, to leave evidence and insurance, homie. So when I bag one of you niggas, homie, they'll know who did it, homie. I don't be on that. That's when, okay.
Kodak is my brother, man. Y'all tripping. Kodak is my brother. Psycho my brother, man. Y'all start that shit on my live, man. Y'all tripping, man. I'm my brothers, man. We not beefing. When I'm not beefing with Kodak, my brother, man. Y'all tripping. Run that bit back.
Now I'm going to do the responsible thing in this video and make sure that I state and I note that yes, WizDaWizard was 100% involved in the streets. I am not denying that, and he's not only been involved in the streets, but he has a long record and was involved in the streets since a teenager. At 17, he was arrested on charges including grand theft, burglary, resisting arrest with violence, and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Authorities accused him of leading a gang of over 100 members who burglarized homes, targeted lakeside residences, and conducted organized stakeouts before carrying out attacks. In 2016, his older brother, 19-year-old Jib Williams, was shot and killed. Around 8 p.m. one evening, Jib and another teenager was walking in the 700 block of 7th Avenue when they would be shot and later pronounced dead at the hospital, except the second teen that was with Jib actually survived. The following year, in July 2017, Wiz would be identified in a lineup and arrested for attempted murder of someone named Denzel Williams after being accused by Denzel of shooting at him 6 times while he was walking towards his grandmother's house. Denzel later told police that Wiz may have believed he was connected to Jib's death and had been waiting for an opportunity to retaliate. He identified Wiz in a photo lineup, leading to Wiz's arrest. Fast forward to August 2020. At approximately 1:25 p.m., Denzel Williams and another woman that he was with was actually killed in a drive-by shooting in Hollywood. Investigators believe Campbell was an innocent bystander while Denzel was the intended target, set to testify as a key witness in Wiz's attempted murder case. With Denzel's death, prosecutors were forced to dismiss that case in early 2021. And then just months later, Wiz himself would be found dead. The circumstances remain very unclear. Evidence at the scene suggests that he may not have been killed where his body was discovered, but rather transported there afterwards. And a popular DJ in the area named DJ Frisco would post a status on social media saying that y'all killed the man in a different city and then dropped his body in his city. These N-words are ruthless. And one of the craziest parts about it all is that the location where his body was dropped off at was only 2 minutes away from the spot where his brother Jib had been killed just years earlier. Now, there's a lot going on here. Let me just state this as well. There is a guy who has been arrested years ago, still hasn't been convicted, but he was actually charged with the murder of WizDaWizard. That's the responsible thing to say here. He is a guy who is known as one of his ops. Now, his name is H.E. Trey, and HMT Trey, his mother was actually killed years before, and there's a guy who was arrested for that murder who was affiliated with WizDaWizard. So there is history here. I want to make sure that I state that. However, just because WizDaWizard was in the streets doesn't always mean that we should take things at face value. What do I mean? Because King Von was also in the streets as well. Not only that, but we actually saw how King Von lost his life. I mean, it couldn't be any more clear. King Von was in the streets, estimated to have, killed up to 10 people. And he was back on his BS, trying to beat up somebody on camera and lost his life. Well, that is until OTL Vonnie's dad just recently came out. A lot of you all have been following the channel, so you are already aware. And he said don't always believe your eyes. Because he said that earlier that year, before King Von lost his life, there was a payment that was made to the opposition. And that the night that King Von lost his life, it is alleged, everything I say in this video is alleged, it is alleged that they gave King Von some pills. He was high off the pill or two, and they knew that he was going to be on go mode, especially when he's high, if they said that they saw Quando Rondo. So they came to the car, told King Von that they saw Quando Rondo. Of course, King Von was on the BS, got out the car, and allegedly Quando Rondo's team did what they were paid to do. Now, a lot of people find this hard to believe because they say, well, what would have happened if King Von didn't approach him? Some people have speculated that they were in a completely different vehicle that night. It wasn't bulletproof. And that if King Von didn't get out the car, they were going to make this happen one way or the other. Now, some people say, well, why would Lil Durk do this? It makes no sense. Well, there's a lot of speculations, but that's not what this video is about. If you want to hear the reasons or the possible reasons why Lil Durk will have King Von taken out, go and check out that video. But I'm going to say this for this situation. Never underestimate when a person is trying to get out of a deal, or if a person is currently not signed to an artist, and it could be some behind the scenes stuff taking place that you have no idea about. Let's start there. It's also very strange because the police themselves said that they believe that there was foul play. Now, just like the King Von situation, it's something that they call a backdoor, which means that you are set up by somebody that you trusted. A lot of people believe that that's what happened with WizDaWizard, because here's the thing. You not only have been in the streets since a teenager, but you've been allegedly indulging yourself in criminal behavior for years, right? You know how these things work. So how is it that it's not until you beefing with Kodak that all of a sudden, not only do you lose your life, which happens, all people get killed all the time in the streets. Listen, that's not news. That's not even suspicious. But it's the fact that you not only lost your life during this time frame, but they not only knew where to catch you, they knew when you would be vulnerable enough to kidnap you. Imagine being a street guy, willingly indulging in criminal behavior, so much in fact that you rapping about it, you got it tatted all over your body, you about that, but you end up getting kidnapped. And according to some reports, of course, people go back and forth, they say that this man was chopped up. Apparently some female that knew him, there was a screenshot that went viral during this time where she said that her baby daddy told her, no, we saw his body. The guy's head was chopped off. They chopped this man up in pieces. So one, that's definitely, if it turns out to be true, that's definitely personal, right? Then when you consider the fact that Jack Boy, who is also a childhood friend of Kodak's, took to social media to say, long live WizDaWizard. N-words hate what they can't control. What does that mean? Your ops don't want to control you. The opposition don't care about controlling you. They care about eliminating you, getting you out the way. Only the people that surround you or have some sort of contractual agreement over you, maybe your boss at your company, maybe your parents, try to control you, not your ops. Not to mention, we all know, I've covered it multiple times, Jack Boy said himself that he felt like Kodak was trying to sacrifice him. So what could he be alluding to here? And if you're still not convinced that there is at least some possibility that there's some foul, weird play going on here, outside of Kodak Black's lyrics himself, and how he's alluded to sacrificing his own people, I want you to consider this. Kodak drops a song called I Wish, where he says, and I hate I fell out with Wiz. You did what you did, so I did what I did. I don't lie, but I steal and I kill. What does that mean? Of course, you're not going to put all y'all business out there, especially if there's street stuff going on. But he did what he did. You're not going to say what he did. But you did what you did. You still got your life. He doesn't. Yeah, it could have been something else that you're referring to. But don't you understand that people are going to assume that you could be talking about his death? Especially when you end the verse with saying, but I steal and I kill. And then it gets worse. And a song with none other than Kendrick Lamar, and the reason why that's relevant is because in my last video, the reason why Kodak Black is trending right now is because Michael Beasley came out and said that he believes that Kodak Black is a much better artist than Kendrick Lamar. Well, one of the very few features that Kendrick Lamar has been willing to give out over the past maybe 5 to 7 years of his career, one of them was with none other than Kodak Black. And in this song, he said, I'm the type to get my shooter whacked. What? Why would you say these things knowing what that's going to implicate? Knowing the narrative that that's going to paint about you? Why would you say that? What's your motive here? And this just reminds me of like also the BTY Youngin situation, the artist from Louisiana who signed the Birdman. They ended up losing his life. People thought it was foul play there because it's like the way in which he lost his life. The timing of the way in which he lost his life. And we know that a lot of these people or these record label execs, even the ones that sign these 360 deals, have life insurances on these rappers, especially the ones that they know are liabilities. The ones they knowingly signed that are in the streets. I want y'all to imagine it real quick. You're supposed to be about morals and you're supposed to stand for something and businessman and you want to help these young men, but you signing rappers that got record labels of their own called Sniper Gang, Young Slime Life, or Young Stoner Life, sure. Yo Gotti's Cocaine Music. He literally names his record label after a potent, dangerous drug. If you naming your record label after a narcotic, you're probably not to be trusted. You're probably indulging in criminal behavior. Anyways, when you look at the logistics of everything, from the fact that if you just his ops, why do you care about where you take him to? Just pow pow, do what you gonna do to him, to kidnap a person who in the streets, a grown man, tie him up, torture him, allegedly chop him up, drop him off in his neighborhood 2 minutes away from where his brother was. Crazy to me. I don't put anything past these rappers, man. All this stuff is dangerous. Y'all in the comment section though, give me your thoughts. Let me know what you think. As always, I'm Demetrius. I go by DD. That's all for this one, man. Until next time. Peace.
Oh yeah, Diddy got a podcast.